the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.
We weren't able to sustain to keep them.
Well, because we're too sustainable.
We're too sustainable to sustain an audience.
You know what? Let's start right there. Let's start on that line.
Yeah.
We're too sustainable to sustain an audience. No, we actually do.
James is here.
Hey,
James
what's up,
said he got
James?
us.
What's up? You got us.
All right. Hey, James.
We can count on you, man. Thank you. Well, we did have some technical difficulties up top, but we're going to start the show. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, buddy. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic, buddy.
Yeah?
Yeah, buddy. Guy.
So apparently my last camera angle was no good.
It was too scary.
It was too scary.
Too intense.
Yeah.
You gave them the scares.
We're trying a new camera angle,
Okay.
which is
Oh, that camera angle.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that oh, you mean the,
I thought you meant the intro on the live
thumbnail.
stream, the thumbnail. I thought-
Yes, I have a habit of making absurd thumbnail faces.
I love it though.
But that's why the people come to the Biofriendly live.
That's why they come here and they stay.
Yes.
And they stay a while.
Yeah.
But no, you were
I was
talking
about the actual, like, if you're watching on YouTube and you're watching the official show.
Yeah.
I tried a new camera angle and apparently it was not.
It wasn't great. I think artistically I saw where you were going. But you have this idea now.
To be fair to me, nobody was sitting down when I set the camera.
That's
I just
true.
was like, let's get closer to our faces. I
That's
didn't
true.
realize I was getting too close to our faces.
But you have a good idea, which is maybe next time we do this show, we remove the old workhorse here and get ourselves a little closer together.
A little closer together. Because what I've done, I got an angle like that you can see our faces and not so much of our lower half of our body.
Which is good.
Which is good, because
Yeah.
nobody needs to see our legs.
No.
Our legs aren't the best part.
No.
And you can still see Biofriendly
Well, that's good.
up above, but we're maybe a little cut off of the shoulders this
Okay.
week.
That's all right. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
So we'll see.
I like it. Maybe people could take it and they could like grab the screen and then add in like fake legs. Like somebody could add it into another video and add us to like tap dancing.
Yes, because you can't see our legs.
If you're out there,
you might be able
go
to see
for
my
it.
knee now because I went and I curled up.
Oh, well, that'll be just like an interesting part. That'll give the person a thing to do. Well, we do have a green screen behind us. So we know our friend Sean Coney, when we first got set up for Christmas, our first Christmas in the new space, he edited in Christmas Vacation on the green screen behind us.
And by doing so, earned himself a regular annual position on the show.
He now gets to come by every Christmas and talk about the movies. And that's coming up soon.
I'm very excited about that.
I am very excited
Sean
about
was
that.
here last year and he crushed it.
He crushed it. Yeah. It's about to be feel good season.
Feel
The rest of the year, feel bad.
What was it that Elise was telling us? Is it Mariah season?
It's Mariah season.
Mariah Carey season.
Oh,
It's Mariah Carey season.
It's Mariah Carey season. It is. October's Danny Elfman season.
Yep.
And this is Mariah season.
Yeah.
So
November all the way through.
All the way through. The moment you hit to
yeah.
November 1st, you hear that opening. I love that song. And people, I know they get annoyed because it gets overplayed, but I love it. I love that song. That's a fantastic Christmas song.
I love Christmas music in general.
Yes.
So I just pretty much listen to
Nothing
I listen to nothing
Christmas.
but for that. But I won't start until after Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I need to give
that's the rule.
the Pilgrims
They're due.
and the indigenous not Americans,
Native Americans.
indigenous peoples.
Yes.
They're due.
Yes, that's true. Because Thanksgiving is a time to celebrate that specific thing.
That's the thing.
That's the thing. That's the guy.
All right.
All right. Should we jump in?
Let's do this.
Let's jump in. Okay. So actually, this is like one of the first times. Sometimes I'll mention like maybe a few minutes before we go on air what the subject is to Noel, or sometimes I'll give him like a little bit of time so he knows what's going on. I rarely don't even mention like what we're going to talk about at all. Like at this point in time, he doesn't know what this is about. It could be about anything.
That happens sometimes.
It does. Yeah, it's rare. It happens sometimes where I haven't said a word. But today, I found this subject basically because our Tuesday tip a couple weeks ago was about don't kill that spider.
Oh, yeah. I love spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And right when it went up, Noel said to me, I'll have you know, I don't kill spiders. And I was thinking about that. And then I saw an article about this invasive species of spiders. And I was like, you know what? I think that we need to talk about them. I think we need to talk about spiders because I think that they get a bad rap. And it's important for us to educate our audience on like, you don't need to go around just Godzilla on the spiders and just
Yeah.
squashing them for no reason.
Well, it's because when we used to live in alien planets on different as the different species, we had to fight giant spider arachnids.
Are you talking about arachnophobia?
Actually, I was thinking more of that. What was the movie?
Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers. Those were like cybernetic spiders.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Those were bad.
That was a great movie. Yeah, I'll let you.
Am I allowed to do that?
I'll let you slide with that
that
one.
not
That's
a-
fine.
oh,
No,
I
I think
shouldn't say
no.
that.
That's PG-13. And I gotta say, if you're under 13, you're listening to the show. Listen at your own risk. Okay, we're gonna maybe say
Wow.
where it's like,
Wow.
I've decided. You know, it's
Well,
like
but
we
Jacob,
gotta educate kids in other ways.
Parents listen to the show with their kids in the back seat, though,
Oh, well,
that are under 13.
so do I have to bleep that out?
I think now I have to bleep both of them out. Mine and yours. Mine and yours both. I think here's the thing.
I was trying to be inspired by you. You were the
Jacob-
guy with the pop collar at that
Yeah.
moment, and I was like, I want to be cool like him.
Yeah. If one of us is a loose cannon, it's okay. But if we're both loose cannons, then the show doesn't work.
Why do I got to be Danny Glover? He gets to be Riggs. He's Riggs. He's the loose cannon.
I'm Mel Gibson, so the future's not bright.
Yeah, future's not bright. Yeah, it's not going to work out for you in the long run. But back in the Lethal Weapon days, you were pretty cool.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. But anyway, so we're talking about spiders, and you make a good point. Arachnophobia, Starship Troopers. We just got through Halloween, and Halloween doesn't help these poor guys either because you put spiders on everything to creep up your place. Right. But the thing is that it's not really fair because they're important. They're very, very important. And I think sometimes people see spiders and they just go, kill it with fire. And that's it.
Yeah.
They just kill them.
There is something evolutionary about our fear. We have there's a deep-seated fear
Agreed.
that humans have of spiders and reptiles.
Yeah,
That just,
I'm
like,
guilty on the
That
reptiles one.
just it's like it sits there and then there's something there. And it's like
true.
it's so deep in our brains we can't escape it. And I think you have to consciously just sort of think logically and go, look, at this point, there aren't gigantic world-killing spiders that are going to come after us, and most reptiles are. There's a few that'll get you, but for the most part, we can pretty much they don't have much of a chance anymore.
Yeah.
Right. So you gotta be really analytical about it because actually they have a place on Earth. They belong here.
Yeah, you have to understand that I am guilty. I'm guilty of spider squashing in the past, and I also have I'm like Indiana Jones in that I fear snakes in the biggest way.
Yeah.
I really am afraid.
Yeah.
But I think that I have a responsibility as somebody who cares about the planet to educate myself.
Yeah.
And I need to learn more about how they contribute to the environment, which ones are dangerous, which ones aren't. And that's what we're going to do here today. Because if we educate some people, then maybe they'll go, oh, I have nothing to be worried about. We're going to dispel some myths.
Yes.
We're going to give some tips on how you can keep them out of there without hurting them.
I love it.
And we're going to talk about the ones that are dangerous and what you can do.
Yes.
Amazing, right?
All right.
I came prepared.
You're ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
Okay.
All right.
James thinks this is a great topic.
Thank you, James.
Just because he brought the plants off the porch and he knows there's a wolf spider waiting to attack.
There's definitely a wolf spider in there not waiting to attack.
It's because wolf spiders are part wolf.
They are.
That's
Oh,
what,
So
that's
they only
what
come
happens
out when there's a full moon.
Yeah, that's right. It's what happens
Yeah.
when a werewolf
Yeah.
and a spider mate.
Yes. And when there's not a full moon, that spider's just like, Frank.
Yeah.
And then
He's a
the-
Frank spider.
He's a Frank spider. And then the moon comes out. He's like, oh, no, don't look at me.
Lock me up! Boom, boom, boom. Remember that from Monster Squad? He's firing the gun in the air. Lock me up! That's one of my favorite moments.
I love it. Monster Squad.
Why didn't I watch that this Halloween? What is wrong with me?
Actually, I think we should make a note of that and put that in the rotation and force our kids to watch Monster Squad.
Why was I watching Hocus Pocus when I could have been watching Monster Squad?
You could have been watching Monster Squad. Classic.
Oh my
Classic
gosh.
Halloween movie.
This is why I lose every year
Yeah.
in the family movie game.
I'm right there with you, man. That's what happens to us.
Yeah.
So what kicked this off really was I saw this is gonna make you laugh and feel sad at the same time. Okay, so there is this invasive species. Well, and I say invasive, palm-sized Joro spiders, Joro. They look really...
The George Soros spider?
George Soros spiders. Oh, no, this podcast is going to get flagged now. The Joro spiders, they're palm-sized.
Okay.
They're big.
Yeah.
And they look a little freaky.
Good. Are we going to put up a photo?
I can put up a photo. That's what they look like.
Right there?
Right there.
That is yes.
If you saw it, you might be like...
It's big.
Your instinct is to go...
True that it's large, but if we're all looking at basically, I hear palm-sized, and I think that my brain, even though I know a palm, it does not include my fingers.
Yeah.
My brain says, well, that's the size of a hand.
A hand.
And it's not.
It's
because
not.
I'm imagining the rest of the audience listening are like, oh my God, it's a
Hand
spider the
sized.
size of a hand.
Right.
It's not. It fits in your palm.
Right.
So it's definitely bigger than your average spider, for sure. But it's not.
Yeah, and it doesn't say like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's hand.
Right.
So we know it's not like the size of a football.
Right.
Yeah. So basketball would have been a better thing.
Footballs are good size.
I know, but because I used Kareem.
Yeah.
I should have gone with basketball.
Yeah, at least you didn't say baseball. That would have been embarrassing.
Everybody loses here today. But anyway, so the Joro spiders, they're filling up in Georgia, and people are freaking out.
Okay.
But they're harmless. They're harmless. They're not dangerous at all. And they are good for the environment. And that's what we're going to learn is that spiders, they have to eat other bugs. That's how they live.
Yeah. So that reminds me a lot of the huntsman spider in Australia.
Yes.
Very similar situation as the George Soros spider.
Okay. Just call it the Joro spider. I don't want to get banned.
We're not saying it's bad.
I know. I'm just saying.
We're actually sticking up for the George
Yes,
Soros
you're right.
spider.
You're right. Yeah.
We're saying it's a good spider.
The Joro spider, doll. What's the spider in Australia?
The huntsman.
The huntsman.
But it's similar. It's about palm sized.
Okay.
Right? And then of course when you see it in the dunny outside,
what's the dunny again?
That's the toilet.
Oh.
Yeah. You're sitting down and you're like what the hell? You think it's just a monster that's staring at you.
Yeah.
But again, even though everybody hears about all the horrible, dangerous, deadly spiders in Australia, that's not one of them. It's like the biggest looking and the freakiest looking, but it's actually totally a cool spider.
Yeah. Yeah,
and because it's so big, it can kill the other spiders.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is we have to remember. So right here it says spiders are obligate predators. Obligate. Mm-hmm. Obligated.
That means they must.
They must, meaning they must eat other animals to stay alive.
Right. They can't be vegetarians like humans. Like we have an option to live on vegetables or feces. Yeah. Just kidding with the second one.
But they have to. You can't go to a spider and be like, "Could you try to eat more vegan?"
Yeah.
It'd be like,
"You're eating all the flies, and it's not nice for flies.
Not nice
have
for
you
flies.
noticed how you treat the flies?
Yeah, you gotta start eating vegetables.
It's terrible.
You can't do that.
Try eating tomatoes.
It'd be like, no, I'm a spider, man. I gotta eat other bugs.
It's like, man, I'm obligated.
Yeah. So they're obligated. They're also generalist consumers, which I like all these phrases.
Generalist?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Generalist, as in like whatever? As
they're like
anything?
basically if you have a friend, if you've got a friend who you try a dish and
they'll
you don't,
eat you.
Yeah, and they'll go, I'll eat it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever you got on your plate, I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm not picky. They're like that.
My brother's the generalist.
The generalist. Yeah. My brother's the generalist.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start calling him that. Generalist.
Generalist. That was a salute for those of you who are just listening. Saluted and said generalist. Okay.
The generalist consumers, which is another way of saying they prey on a variety of organisms, including other spiders, vertebrates, rarely.
Vertebrates?
Vertebrates.
Is he related to Vert Ernie's?
Yeah, Bert and Ernie. Is Bert and Ernie and vertebrate. Vertebrates, rarely they eat those, and their most common prey type, insects. And so the thing is, one of the things that they kill and they eat are mosquitoes. And you gotta understand this. Mosquitoes cause death.
Yeah.
And so they're a way bigger threat than a spider ever could be.
Yeah, they have blood in them,
and they carry disease.
Carry that blood, and they you can, like, in the process of sucking your blood, they're doing all sorts of stuff in there. They got all sorts of crazy viruses that can get into your bloodstream.
Yeah,
they're a mess.
Yeah, they're an absolute mess, and that's the problem is that people think, oh, gross spider. But really, the spider is helping you thin out that mosquito population. And if we have all the spiders, you're not going to get chewed up and get the Zika virus in your bloodstream.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah.
No, that's a huge deal. And they also make really pretty webs that you can walk through.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They do. That's the thing. It's webs. I have a whole thing on webs.
Oh,
here.
I won't that later. We'll talk about webs later.
You're absolutely right.
We finished it. I'm sorry. I
So
was jumping the gun.
When I said the thing about the Joro spider, Noel, this is tragic.
He donates a lot of money to spider politics.
You stinker. The Joro population, so they're there in Georgia, and this is why I said it. You're going to laugh, but it's also kind of tragic too. This is a perfect example. So at the end of this article, they basically said, you should make sure you understand they can't harm you and do not emulate one Georgia man who set his attic on fire in an attempt to eradicate the Joro spiders. So you want to talk about like an overdoing it response?
I want to know the whole story.
That's all I got.
Because my image, which I'm sure is wrong. I totally spiked this. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
No, it's okay. It was a good laugh.
Okay, so the image that everybody comes up with when he says accidentally set his garage or his barn on fire. Attic.
Yeah.
Okay, on
set
fire.
His attic on fire.
Is that he went up there and said, "I kill it with fire," and just like started flame throwing, started shooting it with, and then
that's what I thought of.
And it was like, "I will burn this whole thing down."
I will burn it down.
When actually, probably he saw a spider that was the size of his palm.
Yes.
Was holding like a candle or something. Yeah. Jumped, panicked.
Yeah.
It caught on some flammable thing in the attic.
That's probably true.
And then lit up the whole attic, and now he's the guy who lit his attic on fire to kill a spider.
You're giving this guy a lot of credit. I have a feeling this guy made a homemade flamethrower, and he went up there and was like, "You bugs!" Just went to town.
I'm just saying, this is reporting.
That's reporting. You're right.
This
you're
is
right.
how it works.
The Georgia man. You're right. They don't list his name, so more than likely, you're right. It was an accident.
He probably got scared out of his mind
and was like, "Oh my gosh!" And it got out of control.
Yeah.
And he tried to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But that reaction is dangerous, right? So one of the things about spiders is there's some myths out there that people think. So I'm going to share a couple.
One is that they have 8 legs.
Yeah, they do have 8 legs.
Just kidding.
Oh. It's like, wait a second, do they not have 8 legs? What planet am I on? So have you ever heard that you will swallow 8 spiders every year while you sleep? Have you ever heard somebody say that?
I've heard that myth.
It's not true.
Okay, how many do I swallow?
None.
None? I swallow no spiders.
No spiders.
I don't believe that for a second. I believe that I have at least swallowed a spider in my life.
Maybe, yeah. If you were camping or something, probably.
Yeah.
But so it's a popular myth, but demonstrably false.
Yeah.
The most common.
It seemed false when I heard it, to be honest.
Yeah, it seems like one of those things like when somebody tells you, you freak out for a little bit, and you go like, wait a second, how often am I in a situation where I'm laying so still, so motionless, and my mouth open, and the spider's like, perfect.
Yeah, like he's...
I can't wait.
From up above with his web.
Yes.
I'm going to kill his tongue. Now I'm dead.
Can't wait
I've been swallowed by this human.
Go inside and go full inner space on this guy. Inner Space is a 1980s film with Dennis Quaid and Martin Short. Mm-hmm. For the people old enough to remember that movie.
And Meg Ryan.
And Meg Ryan. I'm so sorry. Meg Ryan as well.
I think that's where they met before they fell in love. Had the star.
That is the Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan fall in love movie.
And then they had the star of that hero show with the crazy
guy on
guys.
The Boys.
The guy on The Boys.
The
star,
yes.
The lead in The Boys is their son.
Yeah. When I was watching, I don't know, have you guys ever heard of the show The Boys on Amazon Prime? Anyway, it's about like superheroes in real life or whatever. So we're watching the show and we're looking at this main.
Show.
It's really good. It's really good.
It's a good show.
It's very also violent though. So for our young audience that we censored out swear words for.
I'm gonna actually just adjust my review a little bit. Season 1 was a great show.
Season 1 was a great show.
Season 2 was garbage. It was garbage.
I didn't enjoy it as much.
Yeah, season 2 was garbage.
I think it kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
But anyway, on that show, the main character, we were watching and we're like, who is this guy? Because he kind of came out of nowhere. And we looked him up and he was Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan's son. And so when you look at him, you're like, oh, I can totally see both those guys in that kid's face. He was great.
He's a good actor.
He's kind of he's the draw of the show for me.
I think so. Yeah,
he's great.
Yeah, he's really good.
So, okay, so you're not eating spiders during sleep. The most common spider species that live in North American, this is where we are, homes, probably don't even get anywhere near your bed because there's nothing to eat there. So they're not going to hang out by your bed because you don't have like flies and mosquitoes and insects crawling in your bed. That's literally like a barren wasteland. And like we learned, spiders have to eat to live. They eat so much. So they don't want to go near your bed, okay? Right. And if you're in your bed and you're sleeping, they're not likely to approach because of several reasons. Your vibrations, your heartbeat, your breathing, and my personal deterrent, snoring.
Oh, is that what you do?
I do it on purpose.
I didn't know that you snored, Jacob.
It is.
I had no idea. Here I am living my whole life in just blind, thinking that Jacob just slept silently next to me in a hotel. In where the heck were we?
We were in
D.C. or something.
We were in Washington, D.C.
I thought, no problem. Jacob doesn't snore. This will be great. No big deal.
We do have to just briefly tell that story. We have to tell the story. It's too good. It's too good not to. So Noel and I travel together for work, and we go to various cities to do different things. And I had mentioned to him before, I said, by the way, I do have a little bit of a snoring problem, and you're never going to want to share a room with me. One of our first trips, we stayed in one of those places.
I think it was our first trip. I don't think.
No, we had one before. We had one before, but this is why.
Okay.
One before was one of those rooms where we were there for an extended period of time.
Oh, that's right.
And he had a room
in Arizona,
and then we had a shared living space with a kitchenette, and then I had my own room, so we weren't in the same space. So if he would have heard me, it would have been a distant buzzing, and he could have slept. So I warned him about it, and so we get to D.C., and we're sharing a small room because D.C., being an East Coast city, has much older buildings. Things are kind of built a little bit more on top of each other because that's the way things used to be. So we're in a little snug little room there together, and it's bad at the start of the week, but enough that he can, survive. And by the end of the week, it gets so bad that I'm sleeping soundly through the night, but apparently Noel is miserable and throwing pillows at me every time in 5-minute intervals, correct? 5 minutes. That's all.
I would throw a pillow and it would buy me 2 minutes of silence.
2 minutes of silence.
Which I would then try to use to fall asleep.
Yeah, and so he wasn't just using his own pillows. He was using the ones provided in the closet, the decorative pillows, everything. I want to say 15 pillows. I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say 15 pillows.
If there was an object that I could not kill him, but stop him from snoring with, I threw it at him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I wake up the next morning. We have a meeting very, very early to get to. Very early. I wake up. I am buried under the fortress of solitude of pillows. Literally a mountain on top of me. And my head comes out like a volcano. And with just my hair sticking up. And I look up and I look over at Noel. And with his last breath.
Red eyes. You know at cartoons where you have the red eyes and one eye's blinking?
He goes, "Go to the meeting without me." So I took the pillows off the bed, and I'm telling you, I have never gotten ready in a more stealthy, silent way in my life. I literally, my belt buckle, if it jangled, I would pinch the thing together, and I would don't wake him. Don't wake him. He suffered for 8 hours of
While
this.
you slept good.
While I slept so soundly. So
This is the last night, too.
Last night.
Week.
It'd been a 6-day trip. So I go to the meeting and which was fine. It was one of those things that was fine. Mike was there, so we go to the meeting and then he gets to recover a little bit. But he learned from then on, if we travel together, he can't share a room with old spider deterrent Givens.
It's a brilliant scam if you're wondering how to get your own room when you travel.
It's a brilliant scam.
I'm a grumpy sleeper too.
Are
so
you?
if there's noise,
I'm
either leaving or
I'll make anyone a grumpy sleeper. Even spiders.
So spiders don't attack Jake.
They don't attack me, so I'm not even worried about it.
Camped a
Just
few.
Noel attacks you.
Yeah, Noel attacks me. Spider Noel. Spider Noel. Anyway.
Spider Noel throws a pillow at your face.
You've camped.
I have camped, and I've got to believe at some point I've eaten a spider. I have to have. I have to
By
have.
choice.
I have to have eaten a spider, Jacob.
Just hunched over a log, just eating
Grabbed it and
spiders.
eaten it. No, but that rumor has always seemed unrealistic.
Yes.
and unlikely to me.
You probably, and I would say, is there a chance that you ate one while sleeping? Sure. I think that it's possible, but the idea that you're eating 8 a year or whatever it is,
that's absurd.
No way. Yeah. That's not happening. So you don't need to worry about that. Okay. So then another myth that people say is that you're never more than a few feet away from a spider. That's that's a myth as well. There's a spider around you at all times, right? Nope. Not true.
That's not true.
It depends entirely where you are. If you're in your garden, from the woods, 3-4 feet, 5-6 feet away.
A meter.
A yard.
Centimeter.
there are spiders. That's their home. You're in their home now.
Yeah.
But if
they should put you in a cup and take you outside.
Yeah, exactly.
In that situation.
But if you're in the grocery store, the mall, your doctor's office, your home, they're not in that space. You're fine.
Yeah.
So they're not around you at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and also, if you're in the woods and they are all around you, there's no reason to freak out. I think so. Okay. I'll give you my example.
Give me your example.
If you are hanging out in a place and an elephant comes by,
Yeah.
is your instinct to run up and stab the elephant?
No.
Okay. It's your instinct to go, that's an elephant. I got to get out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Spiders are significantly smaller even than that. Like the elephant's the biggest thing I can. It's like a blue whale swimming by.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And I think even worse than that a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like if a blue whale swimming by, you're not going to go, I'm going to attack the blue whale. You're like, I'm going to try not to get pummeled by a blue whale going by.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They don't want to kill the gigantic, ugly human that's walking through its place. They just want you to go away.
Yeah. It's true. So
don't be afraid of the spiders.
don't be afraid. They're really afraid of you.
Yes.
They don't really want to go near you at all.
No.
And so to talk a little bit about the big two, you could say there's more, obviously, but I'm talking about in North America. If you live in other parts of the world, there's probably some species of spider that I don't even know about. But the big two that people kick around here are what?
Daddy long legs.
No.
No?
The Brown Recluse and the Black Widow.
Those are the ones.
Brown Recluse.
The Brown Recluse.
Brown Recluse.
Is that what you said?
Recluse. I like that more. The Brown Recluse. It's the Brown Reckless. This guy doesn't care about anybody.
Sounds like a daredevil.
Daredevil, yeah. Brown Reckless. No, the Brown Recluse and the Black Widow are the two. So here's the thing. Most spiders are venomous. Most of them are, because that's how they kill their prey. That's how they survive. Mostly are venomous. But most of them cannot pierce your skin if they try to bite you. Like the majority of them cannot.
And even if most of them do, their venom is not...
It doesn't hurt a human.
It kills something that's small really well.
But it'll leave you a bump. That's about it.
Yeah.
But like most
We're
spider bites...
massive.
We're massive. We're
we're
5
huge.
elephants.
We're huge.
Yeah, we're big. And so, like, exactly, it's like in those movies, like Night of the Museum.
Yeah.
It's like Night of the Museum. When Owen Wilson and his little Roman guard friend are throwing spears and shooting guns at grown human beings, it does nothing. It's literally like, ow. Oh, and you're like, that's all a spider bite is. It does nothing. So they can't really harm us. Now, the two that people are worried about are the Black Widows and Brown Recluse. For those who are in California, you should know Brown Recluse is not here. They're not in California. They're not native to this area.
The short-legged
Huh?
ones?
I don't. Maybe I'll find a picture of a Brown Recluse that I could put up. I'll put up a picture of a Brown Recluse. I don't have one at the ready, I don't believe, but there it is.
Okay,
that's a Brown Recluse. So they're not native to California. So if you're climbing around and you live here where we do.
Let's double check.
Okay.
Triple.
I do know that they're not native to California.
There are a couple of different types of brown recluses, and there are some that make their way to the southwest, certainly, to the southern parts of California.
Well, all the things that I
Yeah,
found said the Brown Recluse are not found in California. Okay. So,
They're mainly like Texas, down south, Louisiana.
Yeah,
Okay.
but here,
North
if you're
Dakota.
digging in your basement, your garage, whatever, if you think you're finding a Brown Recluse, you're probably not. More than likely. Now, I'm not saying there's not a rare instance that it shows up, but they're not native to here. This isn't normally a climate, but hey, with climate change, maybe they're moving in strong. So
Sure.
But there are Brown Widows. Brown Widows exist. I actually just found one about a week ago at my place. Brown Widow is like the Black Widow. The bite does not harm you as much as the Black Widows does, but you'll see them. They look a little bit different. They have that rounded, sack on them, and they do have an hourglass, but it's more orange in color. But they have this kind of pattern on their back, and this is what they look like. But that's a Brown Widow, and that's here as well. Then you have the big baddie Black Widow, which those are definitely here. I've seen them. Noel's seen them.
They look so cool.
They look so cool. They
look like a jet fighter. Like
They do. They're the stealth bomber of spiders.
Like it's a
Yeah.
It's like a matte finish, but it shines.
Yeah. They're amazing.
Glorious looking spiders.
And we look at them kind of like we're scared of them because they're creepy and that's the message that's always sent. But we have to start reimagining these spiders that like, I don't know, mini dragons or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like we need to find a way to embrace the fact that, they've got these, glossy, these legs, this look about them that you kind of are scared of, but it's cool. It is cool. And a black widow isn't going to really be that harmful to a grown adult.
Right.
The one person that you got to be aware of are children and the elderly or people with immune complications and things like that. Right. That's where it could be a problem. But
even larger children really aren't going to have much trouble with it.
Once you get past a certain age.
It's the small kids.
It's the small kids. So I'm not saying don't protect your family from brown recluses that are in your area.
They'll get sick.
They'll get sick.
Yeah.
They'll get sick, and it sucks, and you want to get those out of your house. But you don't need to be as afraid because the instances of bites from them, by the way, is not just you're randomly sitting there and you get bit. That's usually not when it happens. Most cases are you're cleaning out a space and you stuck your hand behind a board that you haven't been behind in 10 years, and there's a spider just like chilling back there eating bugs. And so you're no different. Something comes in its space and it's like, okay, I'm going to eat this thing, and that's how you get bit. So it's rare that you're just like chilling, they find you and take a bite. At least you had something.
Yeah. Okay. So the recluses, they are native, like towards the South and like Central America.
Okay.
But they have been known to like be in New York, California.
They can pop up in random places. Yeah. So I think that's fair. And I think to Noel's point, it's fair that I'm not saying that it won't happen, but the instances, if you think it's a brown recluse,
it almost never is.
It almost never is.
Because they're very similar to the daddy long leg spiders.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you've got to have you've got to have your awareness. And that's why I'm challenging people to, look at pictures of them. Do before you just squash and kill. See what that thing is, because sometimes, like the Soros spider, for the dude who accidentally lit his attic on fire, he was scared of something, but it was harmless. It couldn't hurt him in any way. Right. It was just the image of the spider, and that's what we're trying to do, to make you're not scared anymore.
Well, and there's another thing about the brown recluse, right?
Okay.
It's called the brown recluse because it hides away.
It's not reckless. It's recluse.
It tries to stay out of the way. It's like it's in dark spaces, like in spots that are kind of like away from you, are where they are. So you're not generally the spider that's walking around on the wall in your house.
Yeah,
is basically never. I don't want to say never, but basically never a brown recluse.
Yeah, basically never.
It just isn't.
Yeah.
Right now, if you're outside and you've got a wood pile. Right, that has some good life in there that can be eaten up, and you're kind of going through your wood to bring some stuff in to start a fire. Well, wear gloves.
Wear gloves. I was about to say that.
Wear gloves when you're getting your wood from the wood pile, and then they're not going to bite through your gloves. You'll be fine. In fact, they're gonna when you pull the light into it, like if it's covered in some way, you've got a tarp on it, whatever. That light comes in and they freak out and leave. And that has to do with both black widows and also brown recluses. Yes. They will hide away. They'll get away from
dark
you
places
if they can.
Yep, absolutely.
So just like when you're reaching in dark places and you're outside, if it's like a wet dark spot, that's probably where they want to hang out.
Yeah,
that just wear gloves.
Yeah. Wear gloves.
Wear gloves.
Go in with precautions.
Yeah.
You need to go in with precautions. And so these are the important things to remember is that they're hiding out. You're more than likely if you have a risk of getting bit, it's because you've gone into their space. You've gone into something that they've hung out in for a while. So just
like we
use
said
caution.
early, you went into their house.
Yeah, you went into their house.
Yeah.
So those are the two kind of big bads. And I don't have this in front of me, but I'm pretty sure the daddy longlegs is harmless. Is like most of it. It is literally so.
In fact,
even if you see it, you don't have to be afraid.
In fact, a daddy longlegs will kill other spiders.
Yeah.
So the daddy longlegs can actually, because of how long its legs are and how much reach it has, it can kill the brown recluse. It can kill the black widow. It can kill it's a baller spider.
Yeah, it's the Slender Man of spiders.
Yeah, it'll kill off lots of things that cause you problems. They kill mosquitoes. They kill everything.
They're great.
Really good at killing what you want to be gone.
Yeah.
And people freak out about them.
They do. They do. We even have, and I've talked about it before on the show, we have this little mini vacuum. It's a bug vacuum. It was a gift from a grandparent to our kids because they wanted to spare the lives of the bugs. But you basically if you see an insect in your house, you can turn it on, and it's such a low suction. It's not like a vacuum. It just kind of gradually pulls them in this little tube, and then you can walk outside and you can take them out there. So it's a fun activity for us with the kids to get the spiders out of the house safely. But it's just one of those things that the more you learn about it, the more you understand. You go, all right, these things are important. Right. I don't want to kill them.
Yeah.
James says the Reckless Brown is a new band name.
Yeah, Reckless Brown. I love it.
Yeah.
They would be a punk band for sure.
They're great. Before the Beatles played on a rooftop.
Yeah.
The Reckless Brown actually played on a rooftop before
Absolutely.
They were the first band to do it.
Because everybody was like, that's so reckless.
Yeah, it's so
And
reckless.
the Beatles
You guys
were
are crazy.
We've got to do that, man. We've got to do like the Brown.
If Reckless Brown,
Reckless Brown.
we should do it as well.
We got to go on the roof and
There's
play.
no doubt about it.
One more little thing, as we're talking about things that aren't necessarily true. There's a rumor that goes about, and it's just for a misunderstanding, that the daddy longlegs is the most venomous spider in the world.
Right. That's an urban legend.
It's a misunderstanding. Their venom is incredibly effective and toxic and dangerous to things that are small.
Really tiny. But to us.
Again, you need a lot of it. Your delivery system has to be able to. The delivery system would have to pump in a lot more than it can to kill a human.
Right.
But it just doesn't. It doesn't give you enough that it causes any damage. So it's not a problem. But if you're a spider or you're a fly or you're something else, they kill you quicker than anything.
Yeah.
Because the venom's so good, so toxic.
They're awesome.
And so that's the misunderstanding.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
So the last thing we're going to run over before we get out of here. Well, actually, we have so many cool things about spiders. I got to say, there was a plethora of information. Okay, a little bit. Yeah. A little bit. So I'm going to give you a couple things. You're asking yourself, I don't have a little mini vacuum, Jacob. I want to get them out of my house, but how do I do it without killing them? Guess what spiders hate?
Dandruff?
Rib rub.
That's good. That's a good throwback to our other pest repellent. They might not like rib rub, but one thing that I know for certain they don't like, which
Lavender.
is on all these things, lavender's one. Peppermint.
Rocks.
Peppermint. Spiders don't like peppermint. Isn't that amazing?
Oh my God, and Christmas is coming up.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
So this is the worst time of year for poor spiders. They go from the best time of year when people are building webs for them
Yep. So
to the worst time of
To
year.
Mariah Carey
Yeah,
coming
to
in.
Mariah.
so Christmas
Mariah
time
is the death knell for spiders.
Exactly. All I want of spiders like, get out of here. There's so much peppermint on its way. So these scents drive spiders crazy. Peppermint, plant mint around the exterior of your home, especially on your windows. They also don't like cinnamon, tea tree, lavender, rose, eucalyptus, and peppermint essential oils. So any of those things they don't really like. Cedar, they don't like. Garlic, they don't like. Vinegar, they don't like.
Oh my God, are they vampires?
Huh? They're like vampires.
They're
Yeah,
vampires.
exactly.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, they are a little vampire.
Fascinating.
Did your mic go out? Oh, we had it's it's okay. It's still active. It's just the monitor because we get so excited here on the show. You should be back now.
Okay,
There you go. So the last things. This was an article from Australia, and we have a good amount of.
Oh my God,
Huh?
that was a great pronunciation.
Australia?
No.
I was about to say, what a terrible pronunciation.
Well, you know where I'm from.
Australia.
First of all, there is no A.
Sorry, Australia.
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 Sorry.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I take that back. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was a cool article. It does come from Australia, but
That was good.
better.
Yeah.
That was great.
Good. But I thought it was interesting enough because Australia also gets a bad reputation for having like all these killer animals and bugs, right? Like globally, everybody thinks that place is like
Well, that's
you go
how
there,
we
you're
keep
gonna
all
eat.
you bastards out of the
Yeah,
country.
right, exactly.
That's the secret.
Do I have to bleep that again? No.
Oh no!
Unbelievable.
It's funny. It used to be such a bad word for like when
Right.
and you didn't want to be someone's
Child born out of wedlock.
Right.
Right.
For most of history, right?
Right.
But now it's kind of not such a thing anymore. And I have it as such a term of endearment.
Yeah, we do.
Generally, like
we do say it amongst our guy friends as a fun thing.
I probably call my best friends that word more than anything else.
Yeah, it's
like
true.
as a term.
Can
of endearment.
confirm.
Yeah,
as one of them.
yeah.
So I get that. I get called that a lot. So I get why you did.
I apologize to the audience. I've been bleeped twice today.
And I got
Loose cannon. No gifts over here.
Yeah. Whoa. All right.
Easy
llama. Spiders haven't killed anyone in Australia for 40 years. When this article came out. So it says that actually it's been 42 years. The last confirmed fatal spider bite in Australia occurred in 1979. It's the last one. So it's been 42 years since anybody has died of a spider bite in the entire country.
We're going to have to bleep this entire conversation.
Why?
You can't. I can't, in good faith, as an Australian, allow you.
Oh, because people are going to start to come to that country,
to go talking about how safe it is in Australia.
and then everybody's going to go there.
That's not the idea. We have great
No,
white.
but they're talking about how people aren't dying from spider bites.
Exactly.
So it's like,
Yeah,
That is not.
Are they getting bit every day?
That is
Yeah,
not
every day.
This is not cool. There are great white.
Do you want me to cut this out?
There are great white sharks that murder you the moment you arrive. Spiders will kill you in your sleep. The 9 of the 10 deadliest snakes are just waiting around the corner to eat you. The crocodiles, the ones in Florida.
This is
you think are
classic
scary.
Australian gatekeeping.
What
is what
about
you're doing.
the kangaroos?
The kangaroos box you.
Box you.
Yeah.
They'll box you.
They'll
The
kick your
koalas have claws the size of your
They have-
face.
And they
have a disease.
They have herpes.
And they
Or
have
chlamydia.
Chlamydia. Yeah.
I can't remember which STD they have. All the koalas have chlamydia.
Koalas have herpes.
I imagine a koala
With fever blisters,
Oh my
just
God.
just
I
cold
am
sores all over.
I do not know what to even do right now. The misinformation.
Do you not want me to read
the
this list?
misrepresentation
Okay,
of,
this is
of
a-
Australia
This is a false article.
that has been going on
Fake news.
right now by my own partner and friend Jacob Gibbons. I cannot. This is not acceptable.
Okay, I won't go on.
Australia is a dangerous
place.
Scary place.
Okay,
the moment you get off the plane, you die. That's
Okay.
rule number
Okay.
one when you get to Australia.
Okay, well then forget what I said about the last death.
Yes, good.
Someone
died yesterday.
Spiders save us. I said this already. Spiders save us from the world's deadliest animal, which is the mosquito. That's the world's deadliest animal. Mm-hmm. You should know that. They can also live to an impressive age. The oldest recorded spider was a 43-year-old female trapdoor spider that lived in Perth.
Yeah.
And actually, the thing that killed this spider was not even old age. It was a wasp sting. So it was rocking strong, and then a wasp took it out.
God, stupid wasp.
Stupid wasp.
Oh, man, had the timing been better or the wasp gone somewhere else, she probably could have caught it in
Made
her
it
web.
to exactly.
She could have killed it, eaten it.
Exactly. And lived to like a ripe old age of 50.
You know that wasp probably, that wasp probably is like the great grandson of like a wasp.
Yes.
That totally got killed, murdered by that spider.
And that was vengeance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been trying for generations to get that spider back.
Gotta get that spider.
And finally that one wasp was like,
I did it. I did it. Smack.
Yeah. And then exactly.
Spider silk is amazing. This is what you were saying. Spider silk is the strongest, most flexible natural biomaterial known to man and woman and humankind. It has historically been used to make bandages, and UK researchers have worked out how to load silk bandages with antibiotics. Webs of the golden orb spider, common throughout Australia, are strong enough to catch bats and birds, and a cloak was once woven entirely from their silk.
It's awesome.
Isn't that amazing?
It's awesome.
It's incredible.
I want that cloak.
You want the cloak of
Yeah,
spider
I
web?
want the-
I think that would be pretty. Probably is incredibly soft and like feels amazing. I think. But anyway, so
A little sticky, probably.
maybe a little sticky.
Yeah. But still
Still
rad.
so cool.
So cool.
They're
It's never coming off.
Yeah, right. Once you put on the spider cloak, you can't take it off. That's the one rule. Their venom could save our life. So this is another reason why we need to make sure that they survive. People have been able to do tests to find ways to create painkillers that are non-chemically driven for humans from spider venom, because their toxins and their venom can cause certain parts of your body to go numb, right? So there's ways that we could create some painkillers and pain medicine that don't come from a lab, but from this
Now
natural
people are going to
place.
start eating spiders.
Yeah, don't go eat spiders, kids. Don't eat spiders. Anyway, so that's it. Everything else here we've kind of covered before, but that's the
So
talk.
what we're trying to say is spiders are great.
They're great.
Except in Australia, obviously, where they
Obviously,
are
where you-
super
Where
deadly.
they're
Whereas-
keeping count of
Especially-
Lots of people have died since 1979.
Especially you,
Lots of them.
Americans do not go to Australia.
Don't go there. It's dangerous.
It's fine that Hemsworths come here,
Yes.
but we are not allowed to go there.
And I don't
Don't
even think they're here.
go
here.
there.
The Hemsworths
Yeah, they're out there, I think.
in Australia? You
Yeah.
think so? Maybe.
And I don't know.
Hemsworths are everywhere.
Yeah.
There's 18 of them.
There are a lot
It's the
of
largest handsome family ever.
As I was listening to your last Australia, I think that what I've
I'm sorry, man.
here's what I think I've realized about it. It's that you see the spelling
Yeah.
and it's AUS
Yeah.
and you think, oh,
Yeah.
Because there's an owl. You're like
Australia.
Owlstralia or something.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that your instinct to remove the A is good, but you also need to remove the U.
Okay.
Those aren't real letters.
I'm just going to start with
like
S.
spiders kill people.
Okay.
Those are like
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Australia.
the
There's a
AU is just
reality
the
that's being-
term, the scientific term.
What?
The AU is just a scientific
That's
term,
right.
and then you just
Australis.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
I know, man. Look, I got to say, I like talking to people and I like having conversations with people. But I know that there's a lot of things that come out of this mouth that just don't sound right. And that has a lot to do with part of the world that I grew up in. And I'll tell you something, that I'm a simple man who likes to make you laugh. That's the thing, man, is I don't know. I just go through life and I say things like Australia.
Wait, is that a country thing where they say, I don't know?
I don't know, man. I mean, here's the thing. It's like I'm a country bumpkin, and we say words wrong. We do stupid things, you know. We do. I don't know what to tell you. That's the show, you
No,
guys.
this is Australia
Australia.
is held together, with glue and straws.
Yes,
Like it's the whole. It's
Yeah.
At any moment
It could fall apart.
saying the
Yeah,
name
'cause their
wrong,
animals are
giving
just
wrong information about the
running
animals that's
You got
outside
it.
of the official narrative.
You're right.
It could tear the whole place apart.
You're
The
right.
whole fabric
You're right.
could just fall apart.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. All right, I got to
But
be delicate with that country.
secretly between all of us, there's spiders don't kill a lot of people.
kill a lot of people.
Anywhere.
Just so you know, because
Anywhere.
this is a Biofriendly podcast exclusive. You get to hear it here.
Yeah.
That spiders don't really kill people.
Not really.
You can totally go to Australia. Just tell people that you're not from the United States. Say I'm Canadian.
Say that you're Canadian.
Yeah, say you grew up in Europe.
Yeah.
Just don't,
He's like, yeah.
just don't mention the United States thing.
Say you're from Tasmania.
Tasmania, it's a great call. Anyway, well, it's been a great show, you guys.
I'm tired now.
I know. It was exhausting.
Well, then we should call it because we don't want to be exhausted.
We don't want
If
to be
we're
exhausted.
How's our audience doing?
I know. They're worn out. James, you hanging in there, buddy? He's
walking in the
Yo.
spider webs.
He's walking in the spider webs. Leave a message. I'll call you
I'm
back.
not home right now. I'm walking into spider webs. So leave a message and I'll call you back.
That's
We
the
have
first
been
song of
your
Reckless Brown.
Beacon of light in a gloomy environment.
Oh, no. Carefully avoiding neonicotinoids.
The Siegfried and Roy and
Meryl Streep.
And Meryl Streep.
Oh my God, was that
podcast.
real?
Yeah. I was just trying to do.
No, that he forgot.
Well, yeah, because
Where if we
this isn't
flipped them,
his.
we
He
never
flipped
do
to
these.
us. Yeah, we're
The
doing them
Siegfried
reverse.
and Roy
Oh, you did
and Meryl
flip
Streep of
them.
podcasts.
Yes, and so
Okay.
then your next one is
This shows.
This show's a joke.
Then I say, no, it's not charismatic.
No, it's
It is Never Believe.
never believe,
And then step.
step one. Chill out.
right? And then
This
The
is
teeth.
spilling the teeth since 2019.
2019.
Since 2019.
1994.
Then the new one is technically perfect.
And then I have your new odd one.
Yeah, which was that demonstrating? It's that word.
yeah.
I have it.
Disterminating?
Discriminating the news.
Discriminating the news.
Exterminating the news. And then we had one that we threw on there last week, but now
I think that one was.
I'm exhausted.
What's hilarious is how few of them I know when you flip it. I was like,
I know.
what's there? I have no idea.
I know.
What they were
I actually didn't know what to do
Yeah,
at all.
that was the last one. Discriminating.
Discriminating. And we had one
We
on the
did,
last show,
but it's
but
obviously not sticking.
it's not sticking, so we're
Not
going to
like
let it go.
Not like a spider web does.
Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining the Biofriendly podcast. And that's cheerio.
Bye.
It's the Biofriendly podcast. It's the Biofriendly podcast.